Hello everyone, my name is Ashley from TheTechPlague, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple calculator in Python. As you can see here, this is my finished version of it. We simply just have a function for calculating whatever you need to calculate. And we have a simple while loop in our main function that loops you through the options of what you want to do, such as adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying, and finding the remainder of the division you do. Say 5 divided by 2, your remainder would be 1. You know, very simple shit. Alright, let's start up a new file. So I'm going to already assume you understand the bare basics, what variables are and what functions are. If not, not much I can do for you, man. Just learn them. They're easy. Take a quick sip there. Alright, we won't need to be importing anything. So what we'll be starting off with is our version number, obviously. It's always nice to start off with a version number of any software, just for the advance of it. Never used to do it. Yeah, fuck it, let me just save our script as well. YouTube, calc, videos, script. Cool. Okay, now we want to start off by making our calculate function. This is the function we'll be using to do all our maths in. Okay, function is defined like this. You should know what a function is. You get to call it, you get to do shit with it pretty much. It's good. Functions are cool. Anywho, what we also want to do here is set up a nice print statement asking our user. Wait, no, we don't want a print statement, sorry. Now we want to set up variables. These are going to be integers, so we're going to convert our well, they're going to be strings, but we're converting them into integers. So we want to do an in open brackets, which converts anything into an integer, namely string, in our case at least. Then input, I'm going to type in, what, just number 1, I guess. I don't know. It's good enough. Boom, that's that done. Num2 will equal an int of input number 2. Cool thing about inputs, which I didn't know until not really recently, just until I tried it, because I figured it was going to be a thing, is you can literally just stick a string in there and anything after that string will be put into number 1. So the string won't be, just anything after this will be put into number 1. Same with number 2. It's pretty neat. Saves you having to do print number 1 like at the top of this and then putting a blank input for them to type it in. It all goes into one line, which is smaller and handier. Anywho, let's set up some if statements now. So if you noticed on our calculate function, I put args in. I forgot to mention that. Args is just essentially going to be our argument, which would be either add, subtract, multiply, divide, and remainder, or remain as I like to call it. So, set up our if statements. If args equals, and it's a string variable, our args, add, then we wish to do return num1 plus num2. Now, if we was to leave the int out, it would literally just add num1 and num2 as a string. So if we set number 1 to 10, num1 and num2 to 50, it would just be 1050, so 1050, which wouldn't be right at all. So make sure they are definitely ints, that way we can actually do maths on them. You're going to do elif now, which is just essentially else if, you C# people, you know, and you want to do sub for subtract. And then we want to return a num1 minus a num2. After this, I'm going to be doing some dictionary-based shit as well. Our next argument will be divide, because dictionaries are pretty neat. So I figured I may as well also do some shit on those. Num2, don't know why I did that there. Elif args equals mult for multiply, move the mouse out the way there, and then return num1 times num2, and then elif args equals remain, which gets the remainder of division. So in our case we would do num1 and then the modular button num2. and that would just go num1 divided by num2, and it gets the remainder. So like I said earlier, 5 divided by 2, I guess, would be remainder 1. So simple shit. 5 divided by 3 will be remainder 2, you know. You get that shit. And then else, we just want to go print invalid argument. Just in case you entered the wrong argument. And then we want to just return 0 on that, because this needs to return something, otherwise it would be utterly pointless having it. Because the way we're going to be using it later on, if it didn't return anything, I think it would probably break the code. So I'd rather not. I'd rather just have it return 0. Now we want to define our main function, and we want to just do some simple shit now. So I'm just going to print these equal signs just to sort of border some shit off. Interesting thing, yeah, with the print function, you can literally just do what you want to print, and then you can just do times 50 and it'll print 50 of them, or I could do times 20 or print 20, but I like 50. 50 is good for me. Print dank calc app, and this is some basic string formatting. So if you put these braces here, it tells the software that some string is going to be put into that. If we do dot format and then the actual string, which would be a version, and boom, easy shit. A string formatting right there. Very simple stuff. You can do it. If I was to do another one, I could just simply do where is it, version, and I can do comma and derp or something, or another variable, and I could put that into the second bit, but we don't need to right there. For now, that will do. Then we want to do print, and this is going to be option 1, which is add print, fuck me, there we go, to subtract, fucking hell. Stretch my arms a bit. Been sat down pretty much all day. 3. What's the next one? Divide. Print. 4. Multiply. I wish there was a switch function on Python. It'd be quite nice. Admittedly, there's really no point. You may as well just if statements. I understand why they haven't got switch. It's somewhat useless. Remainder, but I still like it anyways, just for no reason. Then we're going to do num underscore select, which is the number that the user is going to select, and we're going to set it to input. I could, I guess, make it into an int, but I don't want to do that. Because if they enter a string, it's gonna just fuck up, and I don't want that to happen. Because once again, shit fucking up. I don't want to have to account for that. This is a basic calculator program, so may as well just leave it as a string. If we left it as an int, if they typed in a string, then it would just not be able to convert to an int and would have errors. Whereas if we leave it as a string, we can literally just stick an else statement, and all our else statements checking the value of this string, and just go invalid string and go loop back. Speaking of loop back, I will stick this in a while loop in a second. I completely forgot about that. Let me just do this. Some select and option number option, just making it blatantly obvious to select a fucking number. There we go. And let's stick this in a while true loop. This is essentially an infinite loop because true will always be true, which allows us to keep looping through this. So once we're done with the code, we can just loop back to these options. We can easily break out of this by just typing in break, which we'll be doing later actually for our next option. Oops. 6. Exit, which is very easy to do. There's 2 ways we can exit this program actually, but I prefer the other way, the break way, not the exit. Yeah, you'll see in a minute. So if fucking hell num underscore select equals 1, then we want to do, no, we don't want to do that. Ooh. Yeah, you know, I have a better idea of what we can do here. This is what I did, because I've done 2 ways to do this calculator now, and I made a slight difference. I just set the total variable up here, So if I just set total equals 0 by default, then if num underscore select equals 1, then total equals calculate and add. Boof. Pro tip, you could copy and paste all this, but honestly, when it comes to memorizing how to code and the such, it's better to get it down to muscle memory, so you may as well type it. Because why the fuck not? Gotta get that muscle memory, boy. Left, num underscore select, 3, total equals, fuck, I keep fucking those up. Don't know why. What was it in? Sorry, div. Left, num underscore select equals 4, total equals calculate, and then the next one's going to be multiply. Feel free to comment on this and stuff. By comment on this, I mean comment on the code and say what it's doing. Yeah, I would do it here, but that's just effort. Plus, if you guys are understanding what I'm doing, you'd be able to comment for yourself. If not, just go through it and read through it and test and shit and see what's going down. I'm sure you'll get it. But yeah, anywho, let's do elif num underscore select equals 5, total equals. Now you're wondering how we can call a function, for those of you that don't understand functions properly. This function returns a value, so I can literally just get what it returns here and stick it in here. If I didn't have this else statement here to return 0, I wouldn't be able to use it as a return function, because if I fucked up these arguments here, it would just go to nowhere and wouldn't return any value and just brick itself probably. So always have a return value when you're calling a function like this. Always have it returning something, which is why I have return 0 up here, just in case. In case I typo or some shit. What was I? Oh yes, and elif num underscore select equals 6. And something I like to do as well, num underscore select equals exit, just in case I type exit just to get out of it. We're just going to do break. Now there are 2 ways of doing this. You can type in break, which would break out of this while loop, or you could just do exit, which would break out of the while loop and exit the program. But I'm just going to do break, because that does the same thing as well, and I don't know, just like the word break. What can I say? What was I? I think that's done. No, it's not. Because now I need to do the output. Print output equals a bit more string formatting. Dot format. What was I? Total, that's it. I need to convert it to a string though, because it's an integer, and print takes string. Does it? Wait, I'm being a derp, I think. I think I can literally just do total. My bad. We'll see what happens. And then what I want to do is make some random temp variable called cont. I would do it continue, but that's already a thing, so I can't do that. So I'm just going to say cont, which is just continue. I'm going to set it to input. Press enter to continue. It's only really there just so you can pause and see what the output is, and then press enter and it goes on with the code. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, sweet. So hold up, I just want some basic shit going down there, boy. There we go. So that should be fine. And now we need to call this main function. So if we just do our simple if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals then call main do. Now if you're wondering what this if statement does, for anyone that's seen it in tutorials but no one's really explained it, if underscore underscore name underscore underscore, so there's 2 underscores between each bit there, that's referring to the name of the thread that the script's running in. and if you've just started the thread, if you just started the script, it'll be running in the main thread, whereas if you started the script from another script, it would be running in a completely different thread. So because this is running in the main thread, we want to call our main function. Boom. You don't have to do that. I could literally just get rid of all this and stick a while loop there, but it looks nice, and it's in case you ever want to use this calculate function without actually using this while loop here. We can literally just circumvent that and call this calculate function from a completely different script, which is also quite handy to have that option available to us. See, it's all about modularity with Python, really, and that's a big part of that. Anywho, so this should now be able to run. So, oops, 1, what? Yes, it is. Oh, my bad, typo. Calculate. 1. We're going to do 10, 50, output 60, easy. Subtract, 50, 60, output's -10, it can do negatives, easy peasy. 3 for divide, we want to do 30 divided by 4, 7.5, easy peasy. Multiply 50 by 7, 350, cool beans, and then remainder 50 and whoops. Yeah, okay, I didn't add anything in there, that's fair game. That did that. Let me just double check the remainder thing works. Then remainder 50 and then 4, 2, sweet. So it's just a remainder 2 when you divide 50 by 4. And then obviously exit should work. Yep, exit works. And boom, that's your basic ass fucking calculator just done. I'll get rid of that, that's useless to me. But yeah, this is your calculator done. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.